I find it hard to believe that that lady actually believe it's not enough men in that clip. Really, I kind of find it hard to believe that anybody when they say that, because it's like if I found a pair of 20-year-old perfect condition OG 12 retro taxis, I mean not retro, but just OG taxis, I'd be ecstatic and I'd do everything I could to try and get that pair of 12. They Jordans, if you don't know. It's from like 98.
I was just about to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the white and black Jordans with the gold tips on them. You know what I'm talking about? The 96 Jordan. So I would be doing everything under the sun to try and get that pair because that's what I want. I wouldn't be looking for reasons to disqualify that pair of 12s. Oh, damn, the shoelace fucked up on the ridges on the end. The toe got a little slight discoloration. I'll be trying to figure out how I can get them, and then I'll worry about that other shit later. I just feel like if you constantly like on the Pop Balloon show you be on, if it's not enough eligible men, them balloons should stay like this the whole time. Shouldn't nobody be popping. They should only get popped. The fact that people find reasons to disqualify people for shit like a belt or you had your hat on and shit like that, to me, it means that y'all feel like it's a whole lot of men out here. Because these men come out, they've been vetted to some extent. When they come out and tell about themselves, everybody balloons should be up. But if people popping their balloons, they must believe that it's a whole lot of men out here. So I call cap on her. And it's not the only show I've seen people do that. They be disqualifying people all over the place. When I be out, I see like Casey was saying, I got a homie that live in Atlanta right now that he make over 6 figures with 3 businesses and 2 rental properties. He been looking for a wife for 7 years. An attractive guy. We played basketball together, 6'3". I got another homie, got like $96 billion. He was amazed when I told him the progression of my life, that all my kids was in the house with me and all of that stuff. He was like, man, you know how it is out here. So I don't know. I feel like the men that women want, they exist. It must be an abundance of them if they popping the balloons. If they saying, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. Shit, I'm confused. That like them 2 talking points is contradictory. They really contradictory. It don't really make no sense. But yeah, that's it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Darwin.
So what I'm hearing is, for the ladies, the result of your failed relationships, basically the next man has to have a high level of finance and education for you to tolerate him. So it sounds like you're looking like for a trade-off. Like, okay, if I'm gonna go in a relationship and be emotionally or physically or whatever abused, at least I'm gonna get my money out of it. So basically your pain from the past is making you overly hypergamous. And what you're trying to do is mask that truth behind there not being enough eligible men. I think that's an accountability issue too. But when the truth is, you just need to heal. And if you heal, then you might be able to be more realistic about what's actually going on. I like what you pointed out there, Marcus. It is kind of strange that on one platform you can be disqualified for a belt or a hat, but then on another platform is because there's not enough guys out here. I just don't understand why women, specifically Black women who statistically are less desired, cannot figure out how to have some type of unison on this type of concept. It just puzzles me. Like, it should be really, I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if women are sharing their thoughts. I don't know if they're hiding the truth, hiding ways, tips, and advice from each other. I don't know if it's the competition is so strong. Maybe if they educate their other sisters, their sister might try to take their man. I don't know what the hell it is. But I need, specifically, y'all sisters, I need y'all to get this shit together. Because there's no way you shouldn't be able to get a man. There's no way you should be able to get married. You know what I'm saying? If you call yourself great, if you call yourself educated, financially stable, and all these other things, I think the question is, why can't you find a man you want? And then, what does that man want? Like, what about what he wants? We talk about the men being eligible, but when are we going to ever talk about you being eligible? And I guarantee you, eligibility looks totally different from a man's point of view. And I'll pass on that one. Wake up, Di.
I'm here. I'm just listening. I'm just listening. I hear a lot of stories where women are just from by listening to everybody, where women went through 3 marriages, you know, women had to, choose the right guy. And if they don't, we got to hold them accountable for it. We can't really talk about their experience with that bad guy because there's so many good eligible ones. It's like, oh, well, let's not talk about those bad experiences. There's a lot of good ones. And I think that's why it's important that we do need a lot of good options. So if we're incompatible with one, we can endure less trauma. The more better options we have, the less traumas we can endure when dating and finding out what you want. But I do feel like if we're going to talk about it just based on what I've heard on the podcast on what men say, like the men role and what they should do and how they lead and how they set the tone of a household and stuff like that. So maybe men don't know how to do that anymore. Set the tone for the household, or like I said, it can go back to eligibility too. Women picking men for the wrong reasons, and when he starts to lead, they're like, oh, I don't like this, but it's like you chose this type of man. But he also chose you. You know what I'm saying? He chose a woman who didn't agree with his way of life and how he do things. And a woman that he couldn't communicate with either. So I feel like, if anything, let's hold both genders accountable. That's why I said sometimes it's just a lack of eligibility. I mean, not eligibility, compatibility. You know, People not picking what's truly compatible for them. Like on the woman's side, we tend to date for, oh, how is he gonna make me look? He do all this, da 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 da. But can you follow him? Do you respect the way he lead? You know.
There is people out there that will love you through all the bullshit that you've experienced, and I'm gonna mute right there.
All right.
You hit the nail on the head. That's all I'm gonna say, because
Can I
it
just-
definitely
can I
is a bigger trauma issue.
No.
Because even if somebody married wealthy and that wealthy man cheated on him, she like, I just want to marry for love. I don't care about how much money he makes. And they might think it's not a lot of those men out there. So I think the bigger issue is a trauma issue. I think we, as people in whole, we're always looking through things through a trauma lens. In general, I'm not speaking for everyone here. I'm just saying in general.